As we close out this historic month, we found it important to look back, way back, at how this whole thing got started. And to do that, we enlisted the help of several of our friends. Take a look.
Black History Month is the product of a resilient people, with Black teachers and educators organizing celebrations of Black achievement and excellence for children growing up all too often in a world that said that they were second-class citizens. But Black History Month was also born from a great pioneer, Dr. Carter G. Woodson.
It began in Chicago, summer of 1915. Dr. Woodson, a Harvard-trained historian whose parents had been born into slavery, traveled from D.C. to Illinois to participate in a celebration marking 15 years since the 13th Amendment abolished slavery. Thousands of African Americans traveled from far and wide to view the collection of exhibits highlighting the progress of our people since slavery.
That same year, Dr. Woodson formed the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History to promote the study of Black culture. In 1916, he established the Journal of Negro History, a publication seeking to promote scholarship on the subject. He urged Black civic organizations, including his own fraternity, Omega Psi Phi, to help him in this endeavor.
Dr. Woodson didn't stop there. He said, quote, "We are going back to that beautiful history, and it's going to inspire us to greater achievements," end quote. And it did. The commemoration began to catch on. In 1924, the association established Negro History and Literature Week, which 2 weeks later became Negro History Week, specifically in the month of February.
Though it was the shortest month of the year, Dr. Woodson purposely chose February in recognition of the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, the 12th and 14th respectively. The Woodson believed the celebration should focus on more than the legacies of 2 men, but rather should underscore the larger contributions of all Black people to the advancement of the human race.
Negro History Week became very popular. It was taught in schools and showcased to the public. Black history clubs began popping up across the country. Teachers requested books on the subject to instruct their students. Some progressive whites even joined in the effort. By the 1930s, the association Woodson founded set up branches across the United States simply to meet demand.
In 1937, it launched the Negro History Bulletin, now known as the Black History Bulletin, to offer resources to teachers and the broader public. All of this happening in a time of cascading racial violence. But Woodson wasn't deterred. He wanted more. He saw Black history as too rich and too important to be left aside or briefly acknowledged. So his work continued.
By the 1940s, one could see the results of efforts to expand the study of Black history, especially in the classroom. In fact, Black history slowly became a piece of the larger fight for racial justice, waging a battle against the rampant ignorance which often justified racial hatred.
Dr. Woodson died in 1950, but the movement that eventually led to a full-month celebration was well underway. By the 1960s, consciousness spread to the thousands of Black students on college campuses. A wave of books and films on the subject alerted a new generation to the cause Dr. Woodson had dedicated his life to.
The seeds of those early years were now in full bloom, and in 1976, the association expanded the week to a month-long tribute. That same year, President Gerald Ford issued the first presidential message on the observance of Black History Month. Then, in 1986, Congress passed a law designating February 1st as the official beginning of National Black History Month.
The law instructed the president to issue proclamations urging all Americans to recognize the month as such. President Ronald Reagan was the first to do so in 1986, and every president since has done the same. The rest, as they say, is history.
Great big thanks to everyone who participated in that project and helped it come together. You're all friends of our show. Thank you so much.